Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Daniela and today we'll continue the way this time episode 7 of the second season. Fortunately, there is one more episode to go. Great, amazing, I love that. In the last episode, we gotta see what is going on or in the original dimension. BB and the rest are on the run from the police and FBI because no one told their parents where are they going, so of course the parents got worried and now BBA is this depicted as a kidnapper and some sort of cultist. Unfortunately, Jesse died. I think it was an accident. I don't think he wanted to end it. I don't think he knew what he was in for with those patches. They were stronger than he thought. He also struggled with PTSD and anxiety from the school shooting. So he was, I don't know, doing his, not necessarily his best, but what he thought it would help him, calm down. Really unfortunate. Steven is trying to convince BB-8 to jump to another dimension where OA is, and BB-8 needs time, but she seemed like she would, she also wants to kind of. Alfonso called the FBI agent there, and apparently he knows more than I thought. He knows about dimensions and I'm guessing is gonna help the rest now. Apparently he knows about the way, so I think he's also some sort of traveler. And Jesse, before he died, talk about this place, about the clinic that OA told him about, and apparently now they are going to that place, even if it's not the same dimension, but who knows, maybe because they will go to the same place and do the movements, maybe that will help them, I don't know, help away or in some way. I don't know. I just can't wait for this episode and the next, and we'll probably still have a lot of questions. Also, I haven't watched it yet, but I saw on YouTube, like as a recommendation, a video talking about that maybe the OA wasn't actually cancelled, but is like a stunt that Netflix is pulling or something like that. I haven't watched the video yet, but I'm really curious to hear the theory behind it. Anyway, as usual, I got something to drink. The episode is ready to start, so without further ado, let's do this.
Room to room, guys. You guys open. Check up there. Move back.
They're not gonna find anything. And he's gonna look bad. No house.
What's up? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Where is Nina in there? It's just sleeping or something. And certain things wakes her.
I just got your toxicology back.
Toxicology for what?
You each have dangerous levels of mercury sulfide in your blood.
We were drugged?
You were poisoned. According to Environmental Health Services, it's a naturally occurring gas emanating in the area.
From the
It's been
river.
reported many times.
Right. And is that enough mercury sulfide to produce hallucinations?
More than enough.
Now he's gonna believe that.
This predates Ruskin. There's a spring under the house. It's been there for centuries. It's where the vapors come from.
How do you know this?
Anybody who's this far in the puzzle knows it. He's crowdsourcing. He wants us to solve the house.
Solve what?
The house. Figure out what it is, how it works. Get to the rose window. I'm going back in there. Now that I know if I can get to the rose window, I can see the truth.
They must have come in at night, when Bobby was working.
Pierre.
Who would have done this?
They were looking for something.
For what?
I don't know. My father used to say that the best place to hide something is in plain sight. Things that are hidden out in the open are the most difficult to see.
The thing at the keys. The keychain.
Scott, tell me what happened when you died. We were in a warehouse. I saw a way. It was her and not her. And Hap didn't call her away. He called her Bryn or something. He said something to her and she laughed and kissed him like they were a couple.
That's where
There
Hap
were
wants to
cameras in
go.
the air above him, and spoke with a British accent. An older woman, heavyset, comes up behind me and says, "I'm here to give you the third movement."
Rachel DeGrazzo is in at Perkins. I called.
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but Rachel's dead. After the incident the other day where you allowed Nina Azarova to interact with the other patients and they elaborated on their shared delusion, she cut her throat.
He just shifted blame on Homer.
Why didn't you tell me?
I want you to feel bad about it.
I've been worried about you, Homer.
This
That
bitch.
you might be getting lost in the delusion yourself.
Fuck.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You're just having trouble navigating the line between what's real and what isn't.
This
But I
bitch.
can help you.
I bet you
Will
can.
you let me help you?
Can you?
Come by the office later on tonight. We'll work through this. Okay?
Okay.
Tonight. Is this common thing to go at night? Wait, there was Steven. Is missing in this dimension where the others.
We started in a pure place with your idea. Listen to dreamers. That's all I wanted to listen. But somehow this came in today. I wish I never looked at it. I'm out, Nina.
Then Michelle? No. She went to another dimension. And of course her body fell to the floor like Elodie did.
I'm from another dimension.
That doesn't
I
sound crazy
traveled
at all.
here from a different reality where Buck and his friends healed me, helped send me here. That's when I arrived in Nina's body. If I could just get Nina to come up, but she knows things I don't know.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing, you know? Nina knows things.
We have to find Buck.
We have to find her.
You know what I think? You did something to her, or you allowed something to be done to her, and you can't face your own guilt, so you want me to find her for you.
I would never harm a child. Not in this dimension, not in any...
You can't even face reality. You think you're from another dimension.
You don't think I know that sounds insane?
I'm going to release you from the clinic, Scott. Renata's not ready. She hasn't made the adjustment well. She's actually better off here, but you're fine, and truth is I have no right to keep you.
You just want to keep Renata here because you need someone who knows the movements.
I'm done with the movements, all of it.
But he's not gonna let Scott go, so...
There was a favor I would like before you leave. Help me with an experiment. Shouldn't take more than a couple of hours. And what would it take to tempt you?
Renata.
Go to the cops, turn yourself in for Rachel's murder.
Rachel's fine. But when you released you, tell him yourself.
Let Renata go too. You let her go, I'll be your lab rat.
Baby.
One last time.
The last time. Ain't gonna be a last time. How dead is she? Are the crow? Yep. I wanted to ask if the crows are eating her, but... I don't think there was a suicide.
You're the one Dr. Percy loves. How long have you known Dr. Percy?
Long enough for him to send me to the hospital. But that's Hap.
When you travel, can you remember the memories of the body you're inside of?
Of course. I don't suppress the consciousness of the body that hosts me. I integrate.
I think that Nina knows things. I have to understand to expose Hap so Homer will come to his senses and we can get away.
You can't escape him. Why do you think the bonds between some people are so powerful? It's because they exist across many dimensions. Like a cosmic family. That's why Nina, Dr. Percy, and Dr. Roberts are connected too.
So the events in one dimension
affect the other dimensions around it. Events will conspire to bring these people together.
So how do we escape this echo?
To leave an echo is very dangerous. Not to mention you and Homer may not even know one another in a dimension outside an echo.
Because the reason was Hap.
I have given Hap something. I only gave it to him so I could give you something. I'm a creature of balance. But I think you're too stubborn to receive it. If you want to rescue Homer, you must first free Nina Azarova. You share the same beginning. You must get back to the time before your paths split.
The drowning. There with the bus. Was too much for him? Was not worthy?
Nothing is holding me back.
Her premonition of her father was actually Nina, right? Seeing Nina and her father holding a cake with 18 candles.
Tell me if you think a jury can handle this. Dr. Rhodes sends Nina hard evidence exposing your crimes. A few days later, Nina's confined to a mental ward and Dr. Rhodes is dead. Pretty simple, right?
It was a tragedy that Dr. Rhodes took her own life. Brilliant people are often troubled.
That's funny. Because when I left her house, her body was still warm. How exactly do you know she killed herself?
Every astronaut who's had that perspective described the Earth as a miracle. A dazzling overview. It changed human consciousness forever.
That helps Michelle Vu how?
Well, how many people died getting a man on the moon, Mr. Washington?
Yeah, but they chose to take that risk. They weren't tricked into it.
That seems naive, but let's assume that you're right. Does it really matter? Or does it matter that we gain that perspective?
It matters how we got there, or else nothing matters.
I mean, that's only the body. He's dead.
He said you find my granddaughter.
Your granddaughter's right here.
That's not Michelle. Michelle is still in the house.
Is this Pierre's plan to find where the conscience goes? He also has no idea about the time, the dimensions.
But after a while, all the dreamers that dreamed of those three things began to dream of a fourth thing. Do you know what it was? It was a man's face.
His?
The house is calling you. I don't know what it wants to show you, but I have a feeling it's akin to what the astronauts saw when they looked at Earth from the moon. It's an overview.
Tell Dr. Percy Nina Azarova is here to see him.
Fuck. Oh, there. How many unanswered questions are gonna be at the end of the last episode? So that was a thing. Apparently, Nina and Away are gonna face Hap. I have no idea what is gonna happen. I don't think they're gonna kill Hap, but I mean, anything goes. I don't even know where to start from. A lot of things happen. I'm gonna start with Karim. He went back to the house with the police, of course. Nothing unusual at all. So, I mean, he doesn't believe in anything that he saw because he now thinks he was poisoned and it was all a hallucination. He doesn't believe Away or Nina when she told him about the dimensions and that she's a traveler. I mean, I don't blame him. I would have a hard time believing that as well. He went to the doctor and I mean, she's dead. I wanted to say apparently she's dead, but no, she's dead. But apparently it was a suicide. I don't know what to think about it because she was talking about feeling guilty about what happened and she has to take responsibility on what she did. But at the same time, I don't know if she had enough force in her hands, in her arms to pull the trigger. So also her hands were on her chest, and the pistol was down, so I don't know the dynamics of that. But oh, and also I went back and looked back on the part where he was on his laptop checking the missing persons, and I saw Steve, and I was wondering if the others are missing as well, and they are. There is Jesse and of course Michelle there. I don't think it's a coincidence that in this dimension the exact same people. Oh, and Alfonso as well. Are missing. I'm pretty sure they went missing in the house. Now, show that video of Michelle going in the house and opening that window, and her body just collapsed. So I don't know what to think. In the beginning I thought that maybe they are traveling to another dimension when they just collapse like that, because the same thing happened with Elodie when she, went to another dimension. Of course her body was left behind. But now Hap sent Scott in the house, and he also collapsed. Didn't open any window or something. He just went inside and collapsed. And then he retrieved the body and took out that little plant. And the same thing happened with the boy that jumped from the window. He also had a seed, because apparently that's what happened when you go in that house. Pierre had the body of Michelle there, and apparently he was the one that sent the grandmother to Karim to try to find where the conscience went. So maybe they're not dead. Maybe she managed to travel, and maybe Scott wasn't worthy enough. And that's what happened with the people that aren't worthy. And also, apparently there are not three things that a lot of people dreamed about, but four. The fourth one being Karim. So I hope they finish this thing, because I'm curious why the house wants Karim, and what will happen if Karim goes along with it. There are a lot of things that should happen in the last episode, and I don't think I'm not sure how long is the last episode, but I think like 40 minutes or something. So yeah, that was that. Hap, because I was talking about Scott. Hap retrieved Scott's body and took out the little plant, but instead of a little, I don't know if I remember correctly, the plant that he took from, I forgot the name, the boy that jumped from the window, it grew into some sort of tree. Smaller scale, but, and the plant that he took from Scott grew up into a flower, and he took the what's the English word? In Romanian is stamina, but I don't remember the English word. Stamen? Wait.
Stamen.
Stamen. I was right. Oh my god. He took one of it and ate it. And he suddenly, I don't know, I don't think there were memories. These voices come up to him about like some sort of accident. And now I wonder if it has anything to do with the recording that Homer heard in the first season, like some police questioning him, and he was talking about Hap, and he said that his name is Homer, and you know something, all that thing. How did he knew that he has to eat that? It's like it's such a random thing to do. Like just eat a stamen, not I don't know, maybe a petal or something. If the others, like Steven and Jamie, and there was no, or at least they didn't show a picture of BBA being missing. They showed only like teenagers that I mean, maybe play the game, and I wonder if the others are, I don't know, kept in the basement somewhere by Hap, and they he also collected the flower or the tree, because I don't know anymore. I'm confused. I don't know if I understood correctly the the episode, but I'm trying my best. Maybe not Homer, Hap knew what to do because he read or listened to Dr. Percy's, the original one in this dimension, I don't know, tapes or something, a recording. He was all, you know, he knew everything about the house, and he was in cahoots with Pierre and Nina. Okay, Away, on the other hand, she found a video with Michelle being in a sort of attic in that house, finding the window, opening it, and then just collapsed. So again, I don't know if it's death or traveling to another dimension. So, but she showed that to the recording. She showed that recording to Karim. Honestly, it would be hard to believe something like this. So I'm not blaming him, trying to find rational explanations for this unusual thing that are going on, especially when a doctor tells you that you have been poisoned by mercury sulfate, something like that. You think like, oh yeah, there's a rational explanation, I'm just going with that. She went to that bar, and there she met Elodie. But I think it was Elodie from this dimension, and she explained some things that I'm glad that I'm glad she did, because I had some questions about it. In the beginning, I thought when you travel to another dimension, you completely take the place of that person that you are in that dimension. Like OA took the place of Nina completely, and Nina, her conscience disappeared forever. And that's why I was like, let's not do that. Let's not travel to another dimension if it means to like eliminate the original, I don't know, owner of the body. But then after some, episodes, also in this episode, I start to believe that maybe, there are two consciences in the same body, the original and the, I don't know, parasite. But the original one is kind of sleeping or something. And this is what is kind of going on. And Owe was kind of pushing down Nina, and when something happened that kind of resonated with Nina, she had these flashbacks. And also, apparently, Owe, Hap, and Homer are like a triangle that you can't quite break. It's something that goes in every dimension. There can be one without the other two. If Owe wants to be with Homer, there has to be a Hap in between them, always, somehow. But maybe there is a possibility to, kind of break this triangle by allowing Nina to coexist with Owe and share their memories and their thoughts and, um, be two conscience in one body that work together, because apparently that's what LOD was or is doing all this time. That's how this conscience that was left behind after the other LOD moved on, knew about all these things, and could kind of help Away, give her some opinions and directions. And apparently also those cubes that she left behind was intentional. So I love it, honestly, I love it. But next episode, it's gonna be tough. I don't know how I'm gonna react, honestly, depending of how many questions I have unanswered. So it's gonna be fun. But yeah, I have to put my ideas in order, because my mind is a mess right now, and yeah, I'm gonna stop here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you next time. Bye.